And I am here to give you the winners, the losers, and the hmms of the first round in the 2014 NFL Draft. Let's start with the winners. I love what Minnesota did. I like Anthony Barr coming out of UCLA, a linebacker that they could absolutely use. A lot of people say he has raw talent and could have gone later in the round, but I don't mind Minnesota taking him where they did at the spot. Also, going back into the first round and getting Teddy Bridgewater, who I think is the most NFL ready quarterback in the league right now that was drafted yesterday. Also, the Houston Texans and drafting Jadeveon Clowney. He was the number one guy on the board. He was the best player despite the fact that they needed a quarterback, and I think that they thought they would get Teddy Bridgewater in the second round. Jadeveon Clowney was the best choice for the Houston Texans, and now we get to see him alongside J.J. Watt, which could be scary. Also, the St. Louis Rams, who picked up Aaron Donald. That defensive line is going to be scary with Quinn and with Long, in the NFC West with a large defensive collective group with San Francisco, Seattle, and Arizona. I love that pick. I think that St. Louis's defense, especially the defensive line, is going to be one of the stronger points and the most underrated point of the entire NFC. The bad about the draft, Blake Bortles going to Jacksonville. Too many times we find that teams love the intangibles of a guy and what they could possibly do down the future and not really what they bring to the table now. I like Bortles if he sat a couple years and got some experience from someone that was a veteran player, but we know that this is Jacksonville. He's not going to have the opportunity to do that, particularly behind Chad Henne, who he could take his job probably by training camp. I don't like this pick. I feel like this is Blaine Gabbert all over again. I hope I'm wrong for Jacksonville because they have suffered for a very long time, but I'm not feeling the Blake Bortles pick at number 3 at all. The hmms of the draft, Johnny Manziel to the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns did a great job of getting picks for next year and beyond and collecting picks and going back to get their guy Manziel. But you have to question Manziel's toughness and strength going into an AFC North where Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers play defense for 6 games. I'm not sure if Manziel is going to be able to maintain those hits along the line and long term. People love to compare him to a guy like Ben Roethlisberger, but he is not Ben Roethlisberger in the way that he's built. He's a small guy. He likes to run out of the pocket soon, and it's just a play that I'm not sure is a good fit because of the division that they're in. Also, Eric Ebron to Detroit. While he's a great tight end, Detroit had so many other needs, particularly on defense, that they could have used, and instead they went with the tight end. Now, of course, a lot of teams use best player available mentality, and if Detroit decided to do that, then you can understand a little bit better. But with so many good defensive players still on the board, you have to question what Detroit's thinking was. And even though they did sign Brandon Pettigrew to a new contract, you have to wonder if they're trying to look for his replacement for 2015 and beyond. Those are my goods, my bads, and my hmms of round 1 of the 2014 NFL Draft. This is the NFLchick.com and GridironGals.com.